Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Mo Vibing. If you don't know, I'm your girl Mo. I just got back in from a nice little first date. It was really nice. I enjoyed myself. Um, it was good. I think who knows? The guy asked me, he was like, well, what made you say yes to coming out with me? He was like, what made you say yes? And I told him, I was like, well, honestly, and this is in all honesty, I really wanted to practice being more open, having my heart more open, and being more in my feminine energy. Being a single mom, I do co-parent, but of course, still single. Being a single mom tended to put me more into my masculine energy. And I got that from a reading that I listened to this morning with this girl. Her name is Goddess Energy. That's the name of her channel, Goddess Energy. I will always try to quote a name if I remember if I use any information that I got from them, because it's all about guidance and it's all about giving people credit. You know what I mean? But yeah, so the crazy part about it is I knew like a month or two ago that I needed to start to practice being more in my feminine energy. Like it got to a point where I was like, okay, like if I want to attract certain things, the only way you can attract certain things is by being in more of your feminine energy. So I decided today that, if I got the opportunity, that I would do it. And I made up my mind about that this morning. So when the opportunity presented itself, I took it. What the hell, But this is what's really crazy. This is what's really crazy. I had an offer earlier this week. Well, it was actually last week that I was supposed to go out today with another person. And I canceled that date because he decided to tell me 2 days ago that he was separated, married but separated for 7 months, and that's a no-go for me. I don't care. That's a no-go for me. So he understood. He didn't like it, but he understood, and I feel like I was like, well, if that fell through, I don't care. Like it wasn't a big deal to me because I'm not about to start anything with anyone with a third party. Like that's just not it for me. So then the guy that I have been seeing for a little over a year, had been seeing, wasn't going anywhere. He made it very clear that it wasn't going anywhere. Which is, if you go back and look at the previous video I did last night, told you about that person. Yeah, we were supposed to go to dinner tonight, and he canceled that because I dipped on him. And he's also blocked me, and I don't really give a shit. It's one of those things where I'm so used to him doing it to where I was like, well, you can't. It does not have the same effect that it had the first time. You do it so ever often, and a lot of that has to do with me. I feel like the situation only really happens like that when I tend to be more into when I get into my masculine energy, and then he has to counteract, like, hold up, like assert dominance, and that's when we kind of have the falling out. I noticed that. But anywho, yeah, so then a third opportunity presented itself. And I said, you know what? I just told Spirit if I got the opportunity that I was going to act and that I was going to try. And I did it. I held up my end of the bargain and I tried. And one thing about me that I've learned about myself is that I really don't want to disappoint spirit. I really don't want to disappoint God. I really don't. So if I keep my promise to anyone, outside of my children, of course, if I keep my promise to anybody, even my kids, I want to keep my word to spirit. I want to keep my promise to spirit, if I promise that I'm going to try, I'm going to try, because 9 times out of 10, when I think about certain things that I do or decide to do, it's not going to hurt me. Like I'm not doing anything that will be deemed like not beneficial to myself. You know what I mean? Like I always just really try to help myself. So if a situation is going to make me better or make me have a somewhat of a pleasant experience that I would assume anyway, why not? You know what I mean? Excuse my hair. Just got home. Why not? And I realized that I really don't want to disappoint spirit, and then I really want to try, because I feel like I asked for certain things, so why not try? You know what I mean? There's things that I know that I've asked for that I have not gotten yet, and not to say that I'm never going to get them, or because I feel like it with time, like you gotta allow some time with everything. Nothing is on your time. Please understand. And I feel like in the meantime, while I'm waiting on certain things that I've manifested to come to fruition, I can better myself. I can work on myself. I can continue to grow. That's how I feel. So when the guy that I've been seeing for a while yesterday told me that, one, I was very hard to deal with, and 2, what was the second one? Shit. What did he say? He said something about that's why I'm not married or whatever. I'm hard to deal with and I'm rude. Oh yeah, he said I was rude. And I was like, man, but I've been called rude before. I've actually been called an asshole. And I know that, and this is not me bragging or anything, but I know that I can be an asshole. I know that, but I am working on it. Even tonight, I can honestly say, no, but without a shadow of that, I can honestly say, I talked to myself while I was on the way there. Hey, Mo, don't be rude. Don't say mean comments. Don't talk too much. Don't talk about yourself too much. Don't bring up certain things. Like I had this whole conversation with myself before I got there, because I wanted to show or even prove to myself that I am willing to do what it takes to get what I want. And at the end of the day, if you're not willing to do what it takes to get what you want, then why even ask for it in the first place? It'll never come in if you're not going to put in the work to get it. Because nothing ever is just going to fall in your lap. And if it does, 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to last. It's not. Because you didn't do what it took to keep it. You didn't learn the steps to get there, to appreciate it, to even want to keep it, So when I look at how hard I'm working to obtain certain things in my life, I look at it as, well, you know what? And especially when I see other people getting things, especially when I see other people receiving certain blessings, I don't get jealous. I be happy. I'm happy for them, because seeing them get it confirms that I can get it as well. It's just that the way that what I gotta go through, and my journey is my journey. I can't look at their journey and judge myself based off of what I haven't achieved yet, or with certain things that I haven't gained. And you gotta watch yourself when you do that, because your journey is different from everybody else's. Yours is just unique to you. And sometimes certain things that you want, that you see other people getting, it's just sometimes it comes when it's supposed to come, so that you can keep it. Now, granted, some people may obtain things the wrong way. Yes, everybody doesn't do the work, and it seems like they're just getting ahead. But But trust and believe. A lot of times what I've noticed in people who go out and they get these things and they don't do the proper work to obtain those things, or they don't take the time out to learn themselves to get those things, they're not happy. They're not happy. And it's a struggle. It's a battle to keep things. I would much rather take my time. I would much rather let God or spirit or my spirit guides or the ancestors that mean me well, I would much rather them show me, hey, Mo, do this. So, if you do this now, excuse me, every single time, man, somebody really don't want me talking. But they're like, yo, Mo, do this so you don't have to worry about this later. Do this now so you don't have to worry about that. And that's what I've been doing. I look at, I'm setting a foundation. It's the building blocks. Well, if you do this, then that'll take care of this. So when it's time to do this, you straight. You already got that out of the way. That process is gone, which is why it's so important to set goals. I don't mean to point it, but that's why it's so important to set goals. And I did not understand that. But see, what got me about setting goals and what kind of pissed me off about it, because I used to hate it. Oh my God. People say, set goals. Oh, set goals. That shit used to piss me off because I don't want to set no fucking goals. Goals are boring. Like, you're giving me something to do that I really don't want to do. And at the time, of course, I didn't want to do it because there was nothing that I actually really wanted. All I was trying to do was survive. Like, set goals, man, I'm trying to make it. Like, what are you talking about? Not realizing that, hey, if you just slow the fuck down and listen, maybe you could learn something, sis and or bro. But what it is about setting goals is that I noticed is what I just said. Like, okay, if you know your end goal is to buy a house. If you know your end goal is to buy a house, like, okay, I really want to buy a house. All right. So what do you need to do to get to buying that house? You set out a plan. You set some goals. The small goals are your small victories, will help push you and continue to motivate you to get to your end goal. Because believe it or not, achieving the smallest little thing, like, I did it, got that out the way. It's like a lift or a little bit of boost of energy to make it keep going, And back to my example, if you want to buy a house, what do you need to do? Well, the first thing I did, or what I needed to do, was check my credit. Okay, bet. Let me check my credit. Let me see what my credit looking like. What I need to pay off. What I need to, what needs to be taken care of. What can I get rid of? What all of that. So that's goal. That's step one, goal. That's your one goal, and then you give yourself a time frame. Okay, well, I need to start doing this by this time because I want to be doing this by that time. So I give this a month. That way, I don't clear that out, and you're allowing life to happen. Please allow life to happen. But please understand that you set your goals based off of you, not an unrealistic timeline, okay? Don't be unrealistic. Please be very real with yourself. You know what you're going to do. You know what you're willing to do. And sometimes we be thinking that we can bust something out. In actuality, we know one day we really want to sit in the house and take a nap. We know one day we want to sleep from maybe 9 to 12 o'clock in the middle of the day because we done worked all week. So when that off day come, sometimes, yes, we do want to relax. And guess what? You deserve to relax. You deserve it. If you've been putting in the work and you've been making your milestones like you're supposed to, you've been setting your goals, you've been taking care of things, and you've been moving and you've been working, you've been, busting it out and doing what you got to do. Yes, there comes a time where you need to set in your schedule, in the midst of your goals, put a day in there. Okay, this day right here, this off day, this one I can rest. You know, sometimes your body may tell you to rest when your body wants to. So please understand, you need to learn how to listen to your body as well. All this goes hand in hand with setting goals, simply because you don't want to get to a point where you're just so zoned in and focusing on one thing that you're forgetting about all the other responsibilities that you have, you know? Because even though, yes, you really want that house, but please understand, ain't no need for you to go get that damn house when by the time you get there, all your ass can do is sit in that damn house. Like, in the sense, and then, you know, I know you want to crash and, you know, enjoy your house, but what I'm saying is to the point where you don't wore yourself out and you can't enjoy it. You know, that's why you got to take time out for yourself in between time. You feel me? But I'm rambling, but still understand that sometimes life comes at you the way that it does because A, you probably asked for something, and B, because you just need a good old kick in the ass. Sometimes you just need a kick in the ass. And I'm telling you right now, can't nobody kick you in your ass. It's spirit and God or universe, whatever you so choose to call them. Me per se, I interchange it. It's whatever I'm feeling in the moment, to be honest. But please understand that God will kick in your ass sometimes to tell you to get moving when you've been lollygagging for a little bit too long. You know what I mean? But setting goals is cool now. Setting goals now, I started setting them mentally, because certain things I just don't write down. Certain things I just kind of keep in my noggin. But yeah. I feel like I got to sneeze. It's probably my perfume. Sorry. Yeah, definitely my perfume. I got that new Gucci on, and is it Gucci? No, Givenchy. Ooh, I'm so sorry. Givenchy. I have that new Givenchy, and I really like it. But it's my nose. For of course you don't know, but quick story on my nose. I actually broke it. My nose has been broken twice in my life. The first time, I was outside. I remember like it was yesterday, and me and my brother are a year apart, and we were playing outside in Nashville, where we're from. And no, not Nashville, Tennessee, Nashville, North Carolina. Yes, it's very small. But anyway, we was outside playing one night, and we was hopping around a tree. And this tree that sat in the front yard, it had like these really huge tree stumps. I mean, the tree roots, not tree stumps, but tree roots that came out from it was on top of the ground. And we was just jumping, hopping around. Now, I don't know how I missed that motherfucker, but I missed it. And I went smack right onto this brick wall. Just smack face first, just pow. And I don't even remember crying. Like, I don't remember crying. I remember it hurt. I remember like, oh shoot, like nose. And I just remember looking down, like blood was just everywhere. And that little piece that you kind of got in your nose, you know, right? Just so kind of what was keeping my nose. Because I used to have like a really nice little button nose when I was small, but now that piece kind of broke off in there and it came out. I remember it being pulled out. But the craziest part about that situation is I remember looking at it from the outside. Like, it was like I was looking down at myself, kind of like teleporting or some shit. Like, I forget what you call it. I can't right now. I had some wine. Sorry. But yeah, I remember looking down at myself, laying across my mom's lap, and her pulling that piece out. Oh my God, I can almost feel it right now. I can almost feel it. But yeah, that was the first time I broke my nose. And then the second time I got through a rock. He threw that rock and it hit me right in my face. I was so little, and where we was living at, the kids out there was just so mean. I don't know if he did it on purpose because he was a really older guy. To be honest with you, my sister thinks that somebody kind of just put a root on me and just thought that they just wanted me to be ugly. So they just kind of wanted to mess up my face. They definitely did a number on my nose. Not gonna lie. Could definitely, tweak it a little bit. But, I've lived with it, for 33 years. I've lived, yes, I've gotten picked on with my nose for a lot. Like a lot of people has picked on me for my nose. A lot of people has picked on me for my size. Yeah, because I've always been really, really skinny. I'm not that skinny now. I'm not that small anymore. But yeah, so that's my nose story. I don't know how we got on there. I told you I've had some wine, so please excuse me. Please excuse me. But yeah, thank you though. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Please remember to set goals. Take time for yourself, and in between those goals, please plan days for yourself. Even if you have children, still make time for yourself. When they gotta go to school, take a day. Yeah, well, I don't have a lot of time, whatever. You make all the excuses you want to. At the end of the day, it's your fault if you don't get time for yourself. Because you make time for what you want to make time for. Just like you make sure you make time for your children, you can make sure you make time for yourself. Even if you have to take a day while they're in school and then you go get your feet done, your hair done, your nails done. You do whatever the hell you want to until 2:15 in the afternoon. I would do it. I sure would. Because if I don't feel good, how can I continue to make them feel good? Because just like you have an energy exchange with anybody else, you also have an energy exchange with your children. And you start getting frustrated, they feel that. Right? And when they're up and they're at it and they give you all their energy, now you moving around. Like, it's an exchange all the way around. So please understand, make sure you take time out for yourself. Do all the planning you got to do. Do all the goal setting you got to do to get to where you want to be. But still, take care of yourself. Love yourself. Make time for yourself. No excuses. No excuses. Okay? Well, I'm going to turn it off now. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for being here again. And please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Please be safe. I'll probably post another video tomorrow. Maybe while I'm on my walk. I'm not sure. Haven't really thought about it yet. But it will be a video posted. Thank you for being here again. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your morning and weekend. Love and light.